Hi everyone, this is Erin here to teach you about lino printing. I have our materials in front of me and I'm going to teach you about them. So first, this is the lino block. We got super soft ones. They're really easy to carve, so definitely good for beginners. And next we have some ink. We have the roller or the brayer. And then we have the carver. We also have paper to print on. I do suggest starting with paper if you can, but you can also print on canvas or fabric or other materials. You need something to put the paint on and roll the roller. A lot of printmakers suggest glass or ceramic. I use this tin lid from a container, but you can use whatever you want. You just want to make sure it's a flat surface so you can roll it out. And then an optional material, I use a rolling pin. You can also use like a spatula or a wooden spoon to press the print, and I will show you how to do that later, but this is an introduction to the materials. And next I will show you how to put together the carver. So I'm going to show you how to put together the carver or the cutter. You'll find the blades inside the handle, and so you want to unscrew the end of the handle and you'll find the blades in here. Some of us got lots of blades and some of us only got one. I just have one for this, although I do suggest starting with the V shape as it's a bit easier, but feel free to play around with the different kinds of blades. To show you how to add the blade to the end of the carver, I'm actually going to take it apart so you can see all the pieces, because I find that will be better to show you. But you want to unscrew the top, and for this instructional video I'm going to take it off all the way so you can see the inside parts. So inside there is this small circular piece and then a half circle that's not attached. So inside the end you want to make sure you're putting your blade in between this circular piece and this half circle. So all the parts are back in there, so you want to twist that so it opens up, and you want to put your blade right in that small space. Like I said before, you want to put the round end of the blade in there. So you'll see I put the blade in that small space, and then you want to screw this to tighten it in there. And then it shouldn't be able to move. It should be in there nicely. So to start your lino print, you want to, of course, decide what your image is going to be, and you either, can draft it on paper or you can draft it on the block itself. You can write on the block with pencil and pen or ink of any kind, but if you write on it with pencil, you can erase it, but it does get, after a while, a bit muddy, so you maybe don't want to do that too many times. And I just want to say here that your image that you carve needs to be reversed. So I do suggest, of course, drawing the image the right way the first time. Like, for example, if you drew an image on this paper, you could flip the page around and it would be backwards and you could trace it onto the block. There are a few ways to do that. You could also draw your image digitally and reverse it and print it off. I would say the most difficult thing would be text or any sort of writing. You have to keep in mind that it needs to be backwards. And I will say, sometimes you're gonna write it the right way because that's just what we do by instinct, and you're gonna print it and realize it's backwards in the print. I will say printmaking is definitely trial and error, and this is one of those times in those areas where you might mess up, but that's okay. I will say that since the blocks are so thick, you can use both sides. You can have a different print on both sides. So if you mess up on one side, you can flip over to the other side and try something new. So I'm not going to carve a new image, but I want to show you how deep you should be carving. So I'm just going to do a little line on this block. I will say the printmaker that I learned this from suggested that you carve at a 45-degree angle. So you want to go deep enough, but not too deep. And again, this is trial and error. Usually you'll print your first print and realize you have a bunch of spaces that you need to get rid of. So I just carved this little line, but I do want to note that you always want to carve away from your hands. So whichever way you're carving, you want to make sure your hand is out of the way. So if you're carving like a round image, you want to turn your hand around the block. One thing to keep in mind is that the space that you carve out will appear white on the surface, and the parts that are left over will be inked. So I'm going to show you two examples. So this is the first block that I ever did. And so you can see the whole background has been carved out, and then the part that will be inked is the barbed wire, the heart, and the trans symbol. And so that's one way to do it, and that is, I would say, what I see the majority of printmakers doing is carving out the background or carving out a lot more negative space. I also like to do it this way, where you carve out the text and the image, and then the background is inked. So I'll show you two examples of what those prints look like and the difference. So it's up to you which way you want to do the block. And like I said, you can use both sides, so you could try both ways. This was the first block I ever did, and I did it both ways. I will say that carving round images or round shapes can be pretty difficult. So something more blocky or patterned with sharp edges, I definitely suggest for the beginning, but also you could give yourself a challenge like I did. Now I'm going to show you how to use the roller and put ink on it and ink your block. So I got this gold paint, and I'll be using it for the first time, which is pretty exciting. So another thing that's trial and error is figuring out how much paint to use and also how much to put on the roller. So I would say start smaller, because it's always better to add more than have too much. So you just want to put a little dab of paint. And you can see, because it's my first time using this tube, it's a little oily, but you're going to mix it together with the roller. So you want to make sure you coat the roller evenly. And so there's a specific sound that you're looking for when you are putting paint on the roller. It's almost like a Velcro sound. So right now I can tell I have too much paint on it. It just needs to be a thin layer, so you can spread it around more. Also, you know, maybe your first print you'll put too much paint or you won't put enough, and that's okay. Now I'll add the paint to my block. And make sure you get it covered. There we go. And then you want to put it on the page, and sometimes getting it in the middle is difficult, but you want to lay it down. I can already see it's not in the middle, but that's okay. And then you can use your hands to press it. You just want to make sure that you press evenly. I find it does work better to use some sort of tool so that you can press it harder than you can with your hands. So you just want to really make sure you're pressing it down. And you can remove the block and see how you did. Not too bad. And in between printing, when you are letting your roller rest, you never want to put it face down. You always want to balance it on the back of the roller like that. So now I'm going to ink my second block and show you the difference between the first print and the second print, where I carve them differently. Great, now I'm going to print it. And there we go. One last thing is you want to make sure that you wash your blocks and your roller and your surface free of paint so that it doesn't dry up and it's easier to do it next time. Hope you all have fun printmaking, and I can't wait to see what you make. Let me know if you have any questions. Enjoy!